Hello, so I had a couple people ask me how I did my portrait mod for Roots of Pacha, and I just wanted to quickly go over that, hopefully without getting too lost in the weeds. So, first, I opened up the bundle file in Asset Studio, which you can find. Those are my backups. You can find here, wherever it is that you have Steam install apps. I have mine in program files. So under Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Roots of Pacha, data, streaming assets, etc., until you get to portraits. And they're all pretty simply named. Each character has one for themselves, and they are all named with just their name. So I will open Garrick's here, this is my backup, so it should be the original. And when you open it up, you will see that there are individual sprites here. Replacing these later on doesn't seem to do anything. My suspicion is, and I am not a Unity expert by any means, I've never really used it very much, I believe that these individual sprites are used by the engine to create this 2D texture, which is just kind of rendered and available for the game to use. However, we will want to export just one of these, and you can do that by going to Export Selected Assets and then saving that wherever it is. You have to pick a folder, wherever it is that you want to put it. I have a sprite folder here, and you'll just want to save at least one of those. You can save all of them if you want, if that's easier for you. And then open it up in your editor of choice, which here I have this blushing one from earlier. And you'll want to peep the dimensions here. So for Garrick, it is 144 by 166. And I checked, and not all the portraits share the same resolution. You'll definitely want to check this for whatever character you're editing for. For me, I use this as a reference. I kind of drew over it to make sure that my sprite's face was kind of in a similar area, and it wouldn't look weird in the game. So you can see here, I have my sprite, and I have the sheet here, which is what we'll actually be editing to put into the game. In order to line it up, you can see I have this little black border around it, and I can copy and just kind of paste this in, and you can see that there are little black lines around it. And the reason I do that is to make sure that I am lining it up perfectly with where these are. So I know that it's 144 by 166, and because I know that, I can make a selection at a fixed size, and you see I already have it put in, 144 by 166. So I'll make a little red box here. Oops, that's black. Little red box here, and I will just put it, turn my snaps back on. I'll just put it here in the corner, and I know now that this box is exactly where this first sprite was sat. So I will drag a copy of this on top of the red box, and I will hit Create Clipping Mask, and merge that down, duplicate my red box, move it over, put this down to 51 is fine, and just make sure that it is lined up with this other sprite as much as I possibly can. There we go. And obviously it's not perfect because it's not the exact same sprite, but these sprites are, I mean, they're probably over 90% the same. So now I have a little template for where I can put this, so I just line up those little black lines on the red box, and I know that it is placed perfectly where it needs to be, so that when the game pulls it up, it's not off-center, it's not moving and grooving, left to right, up and down, sideways. So I'll just import all of those and line them up with those red boxes, as you can see here. And after you do that with all your sprites, you will have a little sprite sheet that looks much like this. And then you just save that, and you're pretty much done with the editing portion at that point. So after that, we no longer need Asset Studio, and we go into UABEA. And the reason we are using this is because the original UABE does not work with Roots of Pacha files. It would just throw me errors every single time, so I kind of went on a hunt for other forks, and I did find that other forks worked, but this was just the one that I settled on. So UABA is what we're using now, and we go to open up that same file that we opened in Asset Studio, which for me is in a backup folder, and I will open Garrick here. And you don't need to mess with any of this stuff. You just go to Info, and go to Portraits, which you know is the 2D texture, and you go to Plugins and Edit Texture. Hit OK, then Load, and I have my folder here. Just load this up, and then you hit Save. It'll have a little modified star here, and then you hit Save under File. It'll give you a little pop-up that says to save again after you exit this window. So you close this, go to Save As. You'll want to save this as the exact same name as the original bundle file. So here we have Garrick, and you have to make sure that you are copying the extension as well, because it will not save it with an extension if you don't. So we have Garrick Portraits PNG, all this gobbledygook dot bundle. And you just save that wherever you want to save it, and you drop it directly into your game here. That should really be all you need, and you should be able to replace portraits that way. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you could replace any texture with this method. So enjoy, have fun, and make sure you back up your files. Good luck. Bye-bye.